Only on SportsGrid.
Ferall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferall. Coast to coast.
And we are back. Hour number 2. Ferall Coast to Coast here on a Wednesday. Carver High and Joe Lisi in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have everybody with us. We'll start Golf Wednesdays this hour with Cam Stewart. We will get his picks for the Wells Fargo. We have Coach Young with the Lion's Share. Davis Mattek will be here as well. I know that he always likes to dip his toe in the water for Golf Wednesdays now, too. See, Joe, everybody's giving picks for the golf show. Even Davis is giving a pick for the golf now every week. Is he part of the syndicate too, Joe? Is Davis in on the golf syndicate now that you're talking about?
Smiley, Stewart, Cam. Who else is in the group? Who did I forget? Is that
I think it's me, Cam, Keith, Davis, and Smiley. I guess that's the syndicate that you're talking about, the golf syndicate here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Can't crack the crab and lobster around that group.
Hey, we've been hot. Know that.
God forbid
Very
you
hot.
drink a red wine around that group, a little Cabernet. Where's the champagne and caviar, Carver? Huh?
Joe. Too much, Joe. Really is. Too much. Here is, forget Missoula. I can't listen to him and him talking about how great of it. We'll play a real team, and then we'll start hearing from Joe Missoula. Here's Donovan Mitchell, though, Joe, for you. I know how much you like Donovan. Again, I think he put up 25 shots last night. He's really the only legitimate source of offense for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Does he want to get anyone else involved? Does he trust to get anyone else involved? Let's find out.
I trust my guys. You know what I mean? That's kind of that's how I've always been. And, it's one thing where we got to continue to run our offense. And like I said, it's one game and we'll be better at it. I think it's sucks that we lost, but it's good to kind of see where we can improve at. You know what I mean? So not upset we lost, but not overreacting. It's like, okay, this is what happens. This is how we can improve. This is how we can get our looks. So I'm not one to typically overreact and feel like, damn, you know what I mean? I trust our guys, and we got guys that can really make plays. And so now it's like, all right, it's a different series. Different group, different ways to score, different things. Isaac's being guarded by the 5 men. So different things we can learn, watch the film, and be like, all right, how do we attack in these scenarios, and we'll be better.
Just stop, please.
Because then he does the driving layup. He throws himself on the floor, and then he's limping to get back on defense. And then all of a sudden, the leg gets better when they're in the rotation.
You think that there's some performance arts going on here? You think that there's some performance arts from Donovan?
Yeah, watch him. The head and neck. I mean, where's the ambulance chaser for the attorney following every drive he has down the lane? I mean, amazing with the flailing neck, the arms. Who's worse, him or Harden, when they try to draw a foul? With the neck, the arms?
Probably Donovan. Donovan Mitchell's probably.
Get him the neck brace now. I mean, it's amazing with the limp and he can't get back on defense.
I've already told you that they have no shot to win this series. Down 1-0, that looks like even more. Minus 5,000 for the Celtics. To win 16-1 if you think the Cavs can win the series, Joe. Go ahead. You're a believer. Go book it.
I have no confidence. Garland sucks. They all suck. The whole team sucks. Let's be honest. I mean, their uniforms are putrid anyway, too. I mean, that's another thing. They're bland. There's no zeal. I mean, they have nothing going on. Outside Donovan Mitchell, forget it. Donovan Mitchell could score 70 points. The team would still wind up with 85.
Well, we have a game 2 tonight at the Garden in New York City. The Knicks and the Pacers, Joe. Knicks, of course, won a close one the other night. Every Knick game has been close and exciting so far in the playoffs. Now, they only play 6 or 7 guys to begin with, Joe. And we got the news last night. Mitchell Robinson finished, done for the series, stress injury in his left ankle, reevaluated in 6 to 8 weeks. So that's one more body off for the Knicks. That means, Joe, they have to get some other guys involved, whether that's Precious Achiuwa or I even saw today Jericho Sims is going to get some burn
Who?
for the Jericho Sims going to get a little bit of burn maybe for the Knicks.
Come on.
Well, the good thing is maybe he's a little bit better to play Turner on the perimeter, Joe. I've been making a big point about that to you in this series. Turner on the perimeter.
Knicks big can't guard the perimeter. They don't like to guard the perimeter.
Jalen Brunson has 4 straight games of 40 points or more. Tom Thibodeau loves Jalen Brunson and says he never changes. He's still the same guy, even he has all this success now.
And even now, like he hasn't changed one bit. It's like he
I
always
know.
wants to
You
do
knew
better,
when he
and that's
was
what I
a
love
kid.
about
Here we
him.
go.
And I think that mentality is contagious for
I know.
He did know
everybody.
when he was a kid.
He was playing
He's
the
never satisfied. He always wants to do
Remember
more.
those?
But it's always within the context of the team and winning. So,
Your boy Tibbs is like
we're
bellying
asking him
up
to
there
do
too,
a lot.
Joe. He's
and
bellying up. He's getting
doing
ready.
a lot, but it's within the context of the team framework.
All right. Yeah, the team framework, Joe. Now forget that. This is what I really wanted to get to with you, because I know how upset you were that Tyrese Halliburton only had 6 points the other night in game number 1. So I figured I would let Tyrese give a chance to tell you today how he's going to try to be better after his 6-point performance in game number 1.
What are they doing to slow you down, and what do you need to adjust game 2?
Yeah, they're a good defensive team. Honestly, I look at it more as a Tyrese issue more than a Knicks issue, so I'll be good on game 2.
What's the issue you need to fix?
Just be more aggressive, be myself. I just felt like even in game 1 of last series, I wasn't myself. Just lack of aggression, lack of just my energy everything was off yesterday. So I'll be good on game 2.
How much is that back bothering you and inhibiting your game?
Everybody's going for something.
Here we go.
I'll be fine.
The back. There you go, Joe. You satisfied with his answers or no?
No, he's gutless. How about that? They'll call him right out. It's a Tyrese issue. That being said, I think they step up. I like Indiana plus the points. I like Indiana outright. And you want to take them for 25 at 7-1? 7-1 for 25. Come on,
I gotta say,
guy.
I know he only had 6 points the other night and he looked awful. He could go for 25. It's not like it's impossible for him to drop 25 points tonight. And at that price, which we saw last night at 7-1, I can go and check and make sure. I'm sure it's moved a little bit from last night. At that price, Joe, I would take a flyer with it for him to score 25 tonight.
Just
a big bounce back
straight,
game.
Carver. Don't put it with anything. You always got to be
put it
a
with the
glutton.
golf.
No,
you
just
put it with the golf?
straight. 7-1, a shot like that. Just be happy you won. I'm telling you, I said it. I'm seeing it
down to 5 in some places, Joe. Should have got it last night.
Carver, that
Don't
was
know
a
if
good
I like it
number.
as much anymore.
We might have to put it with an over in baseball.
Now you got to put it with the golf.
No, I got to put it with the
golf.
over in Colorado. Are the Rockies playing tonight? Can we get a 12 and a half
tonight? No,
playing
no
the Giants?
Rockies. Yeah, that was a good one. Dead under last night for the Giants and the
there you
Rockies.
go. See,
Dead
you're always
under.
bashing my picks. You know
Because
this
I was
is the
on it
off
with you.
season for me.
I needed runs in that game, and we didn't get any. So
It's all right.
that
We'll get it
upset me,
back. I
Joe.
got a parlay for us. You ready? Boston, the Bruins, Indiana, Halliburton with the points, and the over in Colorado.
No.
That's a
No.
smash special.
No. In fact, I'm going to take the other side on all 3 of them. I'm going to do the same parlay, other side. I'm going to take all 3 legs on the other side.
Really? You're a turncoat.
I don't like any
You're
of
a
them.
turncoat.
I don't like any of them. I think Florida's going to beat Boston.
Now
tonight.
I know I have a shot. Now I know I'm in. I put it in the till. I know I'm live tonight. You don't like it? That's all I need.
After I start Golf Wednesdays with Cam, we'll come back, Joe, and I'll give you all the numbers for tonight, the most bet player props, et cetera, for the Knicks and the Pacers. Game number 2 at the Garden. Ferall Coast to Coast here on a Wednesday. Carver High and Joe Lisi in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. We will come back. Golf Wednesdays, the Wells Fargo. Cam Stewart is with me to kick things off. All the picks, the outrights, the top 10s and 20s, the first round leader bombs. We're doing next.
fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number 1 seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
We are back, Ferall, coast to coast here on a Wednesday. Carver High in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have you with us. Of course, it is always great to have Cam Stewart with us for Golf Wednesdays. As we get it cranked up this week, we have a major next week. We have an elevated event this week, the Wells Fargo at Quail Hollow there in Charlotte, North Carolina. We got a side event, too, at Myrtle Beach, in case anybody wants to get involved there. You know that me and Cam will be. But we have a lot to accomplish. Cam, good to see you as always. I always love seeing you for Golf Wednesdays.
Oh, it's nice, Carver. What a nice thing to say. And I got to tell you, buddy, I want to rub that lucky rabbit's foot. You want to take me to church or go to an Irish bar with you? The luck of the Irish coming in. Great call with Brooks Koepka and the Liv. We got close there. Should have rode that with you. And smart move with the Pendrith hedge, right? I thought Noren could get the job done. And what madness at the end of that tournament with Coles. And it just shows you how hard it is to win on the PGA Tour. Some guys they start thinking about the money and the future, and it's a gag job. Like your whole life can change in one weekend. And you know what? Coles he got a taste of it. Pendrith has done it before, but he found a way after many times being the runner-up. So great call on the hedge, Carver. Great call with the Liv. And for me, close but no cigar, but we did really well with the matchup. So let's keep the train going. We got a major next week. This course is tough, buddy. You know you need big hitters this week because this course will eat you up.
You got to have big hitters here at Quail Hollow. We know all about it. Here's the good thing for us, Cam. We don't have Scotty Scheffler this week. Yep. We don't have Ludwig Aubert this week. We do have Rory, and he's a heavy chalk favorite at plus 650. We have Xander, of course, Wyndham the Butler Clark, who won here last year. This is where the Wyndham Clark run of dominance for now a year has started, or his elevated play, I guess we could say. We've got Patrick Cantley, Homa, Morikawa, etc. All the heavies, Cam, except Scotty and Aubert, who got out with the knee injury, going to get himself right for next week.
Yeah, here's the thing. I look at the chalk, and me and you, I'm looking at, who's bombing the ball, who putts, who has a complete game. I think Clark, I'm looking at him among those guys, and I go, I like him better than almost anybody on the list. I think you feel the same way. I think Wyndham Clark is a guy that has to be considered on long tracks, hard tracks, and he's just taken his game to another level. So, Carver, I know it's been bet down to 14. I think I got an 18. I think you got a 20. So I think anything over 15, 16 to 1 with Wyndham Clark is exceptional value, and I think he could win this week.
Yeah, I caught a very super early 20, Cam. I didn't put a lot on, then I went back in for more with 18. I saw the 14s once Aubert went out is when they started dropping down to 16 and 14. We read each other's mail, and we're going to do it again this week. I'm on Wyndham Clark at 18-1. I'll put him right up there. Max Homa has won this event. He's won this event at Quail Hollow. He's won the Wells Fargo at the other joint in Maryland when they played it there. So he's got some great history here at 22-1. Sahith Theegala. We've seen guys break through at this event before, Cam. Maybe Sahith gets his biggest win. Willie Z was priced for me, Cam. I saw 55-1 early on Monday morning, and I said, I haven't seen Willie Z at 55-1 since he came back from the back injury. Let's go ahead and take a shot. And then Shane Lowry, Irish Bear, another price for me, 70-1 for a guy who's played some pretty good golf this year and is coming off a win. I know it was a team event, but coming off a win with Rory, lots of confidence.
Love it, Carver. You stick to the Irishman with the Irishman. The Irish Bear is a guy we'd probably like to have a few Guinness with at the pub, and he seems like a good guy. And that, you know what? That actually is going to buoy Rory McIlroy. I think McIlroy doesn't understand how important it was to play with a guy who's loose like Lowry because he was going through a lot in his life, and Lowry was a guy who settled him down, got him back in the mix, and he said, hey, Rory, let's have a little bit of fun here. Like, life doesn't have to be, we're golfing. So, great team. Clark on me, 18. I'm going with Cameron Young. This guy has the tools, I think, at this type of course, Carver. He hits it big. He's been very close before. It's all about the putter. My number on Zalatoris, I'm still happy. I see some 33s out there. I got a 40, and I'm going deep. Frog in my Eckroat. Austin Eckroat. All this guy does is murder the ball. You see this guy, Carver. He hits it like Rory, big and long, and if somebody's going to break through, I also love your Theegala play. I'm going to go on Homa because you're hotter than a pistol. But if you're looking for a bomb this week, ladies and gentlemen, Eckroat's my guy.
All right, Cam, you sold me. I'm going to get in on with you with Eckroat for this 90-1. I'm going to go and shop around and see if I can find right around that price. Here's my top 10s and 20s. I actually have a 5 in there. I got Rory at a T5 at plus 170. I do think he's going to play well this week, Cam. Is there a chance that maybe I might put a couple guys to homer tonight with Rory at plus 650? Maybe we might do that. I have Theegala for the top 10. I have Hideki Matsuyama, who's played well in these signature events so far, for a T10. Bhatia at a top 20 at a good price. You said long hitters, Cam. How about Sepp Straka, who's played very well, a T20 at plus 160? And I'm going to try to ride the little Pendrith wave because it's also a big hitting course, and he hits it big, top 20 at plus 280 for me.
Yeah, you never know with Pendrith, right? Once some of these guys, once they get over the hump, they just continue to play well. Xander Schauffele is a guy, we don't like him to win, but I'll tell you, he was runner-up in this tournament before, so at plus 230 for a top 5, I'm in. Justin Thomas, he's starting to play a little bit better. I prefer the top 10 at plus 240. I think that's a great price. I'm with you on Theegala. You want to give me plus 250? I think he's going to be in the mix. Tony Finau, he fits the bill this week at plus 115 for a top 20. We're on Hideki, and I'm with you. Give me double S, Sepp Straka, a very underrated player that's not getting the love he deserves. Plus 170 for a top 20 in a 70-man field. Sign me up, Carver. I think Sepp Straka could be a factor this week.
Let's get it, Cam. Here we go. First round leader bombs. Very hard to do with only 69 guys in the field, but we're going to find a couple. Sepp Straka at 40-1. Captain Kirk at 45. JT, the postman, always rings twice at 45. Dangerous Denny McCarthy at 45. Cam Davis at 55. The little Argentinian with a big heart, Emiliano Grillo, at 70-1. And Adam Svensson, why, Cam? Because he was the longest guy on the board that I actually think could be the first-round leader. I went there. We have a dual event, Cam. Quickly, Myrtle Beach. Are you kidding me? We love some of these guys. I'm on burger time to break through at 25-1. Ryan Crazy Like a Fox. I saw a 50. Toasty, Bobby Mack, and Joel Damon. We love Myrtle Beach, Cam. Let's go.
We do. I'm going to have a burger and fries. And my boy, we're going to Braveheart. Matt Wallace. He played pretty good last week until Sunday morning gag. So give me a Wallace sighting. He'll just kind of come out there like Braveheart and slay everybody in Myrtle Beach. Let's get it done, buddy.
How about Matt Wallace and Bobby Mack in the final pair on Sunday? It really will be Braveheart. Scotland and England, Cam. Let's go. For me and you, I'm going to have to play Matt Wallace as well. Let's cash him again this week at the Wells Fargo and the Myrtle Beach. Cam Stewart here with me, coast to coast on a Golf Wednesday. We're back after this.
fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number one seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
And we are back, Ferall Coast to Coast, here on a Wednesday. Carver High and Joe Lisi in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have you with us. All right, Joe, let's get this in officially here for me and you. -4.5 for the Knicks tonight in game number 2. 218.5, Joe. So refresh my memory here. I'm pretty sure last night when we did the radio show and we were going through this, it was 222, right, Joe? I mean, it's down 4 points from last night, and now it's more in the neighborhood of where it was for game 1, which was 216, 217, right in that ballpark. Where are you on the total, Joe?
I still think potentially over, depending upon, fouling. I mean, these games have a history, at least in the Knicks series. In the fourth quarter, they seem to go off the rails, whether it be Indiana or Philadelphia. It could be a dead under until like the last 8 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's points aplenty. So I don't want to take a side in regards to, I lean to the over. I don't love it, but I really like Indiana. I mean, I think Indiana will bounce back. I think Halliburton, Siakam have big nights. I think if they play the way they did in the first half and take it to the Knicks early, they have to keep the pressure on. Just don't let go. Like, meaning, I feel like they took the pressure off. They were running them out of the gym at one point.
Yeah, look, I don't know if the Knicks are capable of this, Joe, but if there was ever a night where the Knicks could use a 15, 20-point blowout in the fourth quarter where they could get their guys some rest. I mean, they are stretching these guys thin, playing 45-plus minutes a night, their entire starting five. Every game has been to the end where they haven't really been able to sit guys down with 8 or 9 minutes left in the fourth and give them a little bit of a blow. Maybe there's a chance for that tonight. I don't think they'll have that opportunity at all in Indiana. So if the Knicks want to put a little pressure on tonight, Joe, and maybe give their guys a chance for a rest, maybe they could do it. But Indiana down a game, don't think they'll get it, Joe. I'm going to lean to Indiana grabbing the points once again here. I do think the Knicks win the game, but like the other night with the 5.5, I just want the sticks, Joe. These games are too close when it comes down to it in the end with the Knicks. Here's the most bet player props for tonight. Miles McBride, Deuce McBride, under 8.5 points, rebounds, and assists. he'll blow through that tonight because I was on him the other night. I ain't going to play him tonight, so he's going to fly through that. Jalen Brunson under 36.5. So the public, Joe, says he's not going to have 40 for a fifth straight playoff game. Brunson under 8.5 assists. OG Anunoby under 6.5 boards. Miles Turner over 17.5 points. Joe, I think we need to play the threes again for Turner. Over 1.5 threes.
Yeah, it's possible. I noticed the big two, Siakam and Halliburton, not on that list. So that actually has me a little propped up here. I'm excited.
You're excited. We're going to go after Halliburton a little bit here tonight. Let's see if he can bounce back and get some things going for us. Denver and Minnesota don't play again until Friday. There's your look again, Joe. Minus 550 and plus 4 bills for the Nuggets in that series. So they are, of course, we want to remind you, Joe, that they're still playing, even though it's going to be like 4 days between games for them. They are still in the playoffs. They have a series.
It got overextended to plus 470. I took Denver at plus 470 to win the series. So they got to step up in game 3, Carver. It's do or die. They lose game 3, they're toast. So
I think the better look, Joe. And then look, that if you get that, I know you were telling me last night. Short term instead of long term. Right now, it's actually even 14 for the Nuggets in terms of winning the whole thing. The Celtics are now even money favorites to win the NBA title with Minnesota and Oklahoma City right there, and the Knicks as the 4th choice now. So Dallas goes down a little bit, Joe, after losing that game 1 to OKC last night.
Still like Dallas. I think they'll make it a series. The Knicks are interesting in the sense of 11-1. 11-1.
Let's think about it this way, Joe. I think you make a great point from this aspect. What's the series price going to be for the Knicks and the Celtics? If that's the
Celtics, price. I would say are minus 175.
I mean, even if it's 250, like what are you getting with the Knicks in that series? Plus 225, plus 200, plus 2. You have an 11-1 ticket for them to win the whole thing, and if they could beat the Celtics, I think that's probably a better way to go too, Joe. When you get to this point and you still get some double digits out there for a team that could be one of the last 4 remaining, I kind of want to add them to the mix in terms of all the stuff that we're doing. All right, we'll come back. We'll get coaching here for the Lion's Share. Ferall Coast to Coast on a Wednesday. Carver High and Joe for Scotty. We're back after this.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked to have the Bears as the winner.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Does Dame get frustrated? Miserable year in Milwaukee. Does he ask out? Does Giannis ask out? Well, you ain't got no one else to trade. Middleton makes a ton of money, old. Bobby Portis makes a ton of money, old. Brook Lopez makes a ton of money, old. Pat Connaughton's going to give you nothing in trade value. So to me, watch Milwaukee. Folks, this could be the end of the Bucks dynasty.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The Early Line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferall Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. The brighter the lights, the bigger the stakes. Hunt or be hunted. Know your prey. This is a whole new jungle. This is The Lion's Share. Brought to you by BetMGM.
And we are back for Coast to Coast here on a Wednesday. Carver High in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have everybody with us here today. BetMGM, they have got you set up for the NHL playoffs. How about a brand new market that they have for you that's only available at BetMGM? The empty net goal markets. Are you kidding me? Entire slates as well as specific games. Find them in the app under the NHL tab, then the props tab. You can also find the specific game markets under each game along with the NHL props tab. So you got 2 more games tonight. Look at that, plus $1.10 for the Oilers and the Canucks tonight for the empty net goal. Have them for both games, Florida and Boston as well. BetMGM once again giving you a great way to get involved in the playoff action. Empty net goal market. Go and check it out. Speaking of BetMGM, it is time for the Lion's Share, brought to you by BetMGM. And Coach James Young is with us every day here on C2C. Coach, we only got 1 game tonight, so I'll hold off on that for a second. Of course, it's the Knicks. We're going to be hyped up for it. We were talking off air about this, and I was going to bring it up to you to start anyway. Luka last night with the Mavs. They let go of the rope in the second half. You know, the game was close early in the third. I think, Coach, did they get it tied at one point early in the third quarter, or maybe a 2-point game right around there? And then they just completely let go of the rope after that. OKC got it to 10. It hung around 10, and then they blasted them. I mean, they had guys, Coach, hitting threes from the corner I never even heard of out there for Oklahoma City last night. But for me, it's Luka, Coach. And he gave you the whole, we start slow, we do this. He looked like that was the last place he wanted to be last night, was at the Chesapeake in OKC. That was a rough night for Luka. This is the second round, game 1 of the playoffs, Coach. It's not February 20th. You know, this is not a takeoff night.
Yeah, the team starts slow. Folks, he looks slow. Well, let's just call it what it is. You know, whether it's knee or whatever it's barking, he ain't right now. And here's the thing, folks. I want to make sure we understand this. We need to give Lou Dort a little bit of credit here. You know, we talk about all these great players, Drew Holiday, OG Anunoby, right? We talked about Marcus Smart for years, so on and so forth. Lou Dort is secretly one of the best defenders. J.D. McDaniels. Lou Dort is one of the best defenders in the NBA. And what happens is you can't bump him off the ball because of his strength. So now what do you do now? He can get up into Luka's space and make him shoot it from deeper. Remember, folks, Luka is 5 for 35 the last 4 games shooting the ball from 3. So now what do? You can funnel him into the lane. Well, you also have one of the best shot blockers in the NBA, and Chet Holmgren waiting for him because of the fact that I know Daniel Gafford gave 16-11. There's not a threat on that low block, a threat that's going to get O-boards and get Chet into foul trouble. It's not there. So you can get up into his space, make him shoot it from deeper, or funnel him into the back. Folks, he has not looked good. I mean, let's be honest. The last time he shot the ball from 3 that was any good, folks, is none of them. Only 1 game in this year's playoffs that he shot at least 35% from 3. That was game 2 against against the Clippers. So that is a problem for Luka Doncic, who shot the ball well from the regular season from 3. So if he can't make threes and you're pushing him down into the paint with Chet, that's problems for Dallas. And he's got to be better, because if he doesn't go off, they only got 2 guys who can score, right? Hardaway Jr. still doesn't look right. Kleber, he's out, right? So these 2, Kyrie and Luka, literally have to get you, 60, maybe 65 points a game for them to have a chance. I don't know if that could happen against a team like Oklahoma City, the way they're playing defense.
You're right about that, Coach. I thought they had a great game plan for him last night. You know, they were picking him up and doubling him right away after he crossed half court. They were pushing him down to those spaces that you're talking about. And that's one thing. I admit it. This is not me trying to say that OKC They deserve some credit for what they did with Luka last night. But there's also a part of that game where he's just dragging his leg around on that court. And if he's hurt, Coach, it's like we always said it for years. Everybody has said it for years. If you're playing, you're not hurt. If you're out there playing, that's the way that it goes. And you can't use that stuff. Now, to be fair to him, somebody tried to use it with him last night, and he said it doesn't matter. We lost. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling. So that's all good, but he's going to have to pick up his game because I think they got to take this game here. I don't know if 2-0 going home, they're just going to go win 2 games in Dallas and be back in the series because Oklahoma City's playing really good right now, and that's going to be an issue for them. Let's get to tonight, Coach. Knicks Pacers, game number 2 at the Garden, and we have to start with how things are going to change. The Knicks have been a team that so far has really, Coach, only played at max 7 guys. And now you're going to take one of those 7 guys out of the mix because Mitchell Robinson's finished with the left ankle and 6 to 8 weeks, he gone, which means you're going to have to add, Coach, I'm guessing, a little bit of Precious, a little bit of Jericho Sims. Is that what we're going to have for the Knicks tonight?
No, you were good with Precious. You went to Jericho. I was like, you kind of lost me at that one. But here's the thing, folks, and this is why it's so interesting. Mitchell Robinson is out, and the line is moving more down with the total, which doesn't make sense. I'm going with over 218.5. I was on earlier today with Donnie and Ben. It was 220, and it's a point and a half better.
Coach, it was 222 last night when me and Joe were doing a radio show. It was 222 last night for me and Joe.
Folks, 6 out of the last 7 times these teams have played, they've gone, ready, folks, 230 or higher. And here's why I think so. Mitchell Robinson is an offensive liability. And he's also their best shot blocker. So you're taking a guy that can block shots and can't score offensively, and you're taking him out. That should mean more points, not less. Give me over 218.5 in the game tonight.
We'll start with the player props with Hartenstein. Obviously, Coach, he's going to have to pick up more of the slack here.
I like Isaiah Hartenstein to get a double-double in this game at plus 120. Listen, because of Mitchell Robinson being out, he's going to have to rebound. Obviously, he can score the ball and score the ball really well. So I think this is the game that I think he will have a big moment. I think his rebounding props at 9.5. So I figured might as well just take the double-double at plus money because he should be able to get to 10 points as well.
On the Pacers side of things, Miles Turner has had big games against the Knicks all year. He had a very big game, I thought, in game number 1, aside from the screenplay at the end, which everybody is still talking about. He hits a lot of threes against the Knicks, Coach.
He does hit a lot of threes, and that's why it's esteemed, and it's obviously at minus 185. But I'm still going to a Miles Turner to make over 1.5 made threes. This is a Miles Turner that's hit this in 11 out of his last 15 games, and he's hit it 4 out of the last 5 versus the Knicks. Knicks play drop coverage, folks. So that means Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be waiting in the lane, pick and pop opportunities for one of the best pick and pop bigs in there. I would look at Miles Turner to make over 1.5 made threes. And if you can get, if you can go all 3+ made threes for Miles Turner, it's plus 145. Maybe take a look at that as well.
And the Pacers have been getting some really good gas off the bench from TJ McConnell lately, Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to go with TJ McConnell over 4.5 assists. Now, he's hit this in 9 of the last 15 games. Only 3 in the last game. But I have a sneaky feeling. I know people are like his points, right? I have a feeling if I am Rick Carlisle, I put him at the point a little bit. I put Halliburton at the 2, take a little bit of wear off of him, let Halliburton score, maybe look at his points prop, and that gets TJ McConnell going with the assists. TJ McConnell over 4.5 assists plus Carver High. It's plus money.
10 seconds, Coach. Knicks win tonight? You danced around with all these over-unders here. Who's winning the game?
Ready for this? Either it's a Knicks blowout or Pacers close. Play with their flu food too much.
Coach, they need a blowout. They need to give guys some rest in the fourth quarter tonight. The Lions Share brought to you by BetMGM. Coach Young, we're back after this.
The Lions Share, presented by BetMGM.
Tory Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also it's a great pick to have the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Giannis not available. So, what is that, a 6-year window? He's been injured in, he's been injured in 4 of the last 5 playoffs, Coach?
And he can't close games because he can't shoot. And he's not healthy. At some point, people need to look at Giannis and say, great player? Don't tell me all the time great.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Game Time had 35 in the first half, Cam. And then, of course, he did not have another point the rest of the game.
Lillard's, it's playoff game time. This guy will show up. He will hit shots. Indiana, you better respond here because I'll tell you, that's a bad loss. We were wrong, Carver. Like, hey, I admit, I was on the Pelicans. This game, I lost.
Ferall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
And we are back. Ferall Coast to Coast on a Wednesday. Carver High in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have everybody with us. Davis Mattek is with us every day here on C2C. Of course, Fantasy Sports Today on Saturday mornings as well. Davis, good to see you as always. Davis is going to dip his toe in with Golf Wednesdays. We'll get to that in a moment, but a few other things before we get there. First, Davis, last night, Dallas and Oklahoma City. We were just talking about it, me and Coach. And the Luka effort, whether it's hurt, not hurt, I think Coach just gave us the number. He's 5 for 35 from 3 the last 3 or 4 games or something silly like that. They're going to need a lot more to get through this because you saw the Thunder just completely crash down on them in the fourth quarter. They had guys from the stands hitting threes in the quarter that I never even heard of. So Dallas is going to have to figure it out with Luka, throw him in the cryo chamber for 48 hours, whatever they got to do, because he's got to give a little bit more than he gave last night.
I mean, we haven't had to have this conversation about Luka Doncic in a while because it hasn't reared its ugly head, but this was always what they said. He's a little bit out of shape. It's somehow, I think he's the only player in the NBA who actually gains weight over the course of the regular season. Doesn't really seem like anyone else is able to do that. I was on the under in that game last night. It did end up hitting, not for the reason that I thought it would, just basically blowout reasons is why it hit. Luka, in that first round, basically the refs just said, do whatever you want, buddy. You want to use a shoulder to get through a screen? Sure. You want a hand check? You want to get in the way, like whatever. I don't know if they're going to let him get away with that here in this series. Maybe just the answer is, there is no getting in the way of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander when you're Luka Doncic. Like, he's literally not quick enough. Also, I guess we should say about Luka, is this the most difficult defensive assignment that is going to exist for him in the playoffs with Dort and Jalen Williams? Like, those guys are basically built in a lab to stop guys like Luka Doncic. I bet the Denver Nuggets wish they had one of those two guys right now to throw on Anthony Edwards. I can pretty confidently say that much.
No doubt. Knicks and the Pacers, game 2 tonight at the Garden. We were just having, Knicks playing these guys they don't play anybody. They got 5-6 guys, and they've already lost one with Mitchell Robinson. It almost seems like You don't want to lose a game at home, but if they were down 20 with 8 minutes to go tonight, at least maybe they'd get these guys some rest. Either way, every Knick game is down to the death, Davis, and I probably expect the same exact thing tonight.
I mean, look, this is just what Tibbs does. He rides his guys. There's definitely an argument to be made. I mean, Josh Hart has said this actually. Josh Hart, we love Josh Hart and media availability. He's like, look, man, I like playing this much. I'm in great shape right now. Like DiVincenzo said this too, where because they played so much in the regular season, their cardio is great, they're strong, they're feeling good. Also, I think guys like to play for Tibbs too, because instead of playing 24 minutes a night, you just play all night. And Josh Hart averaged like 13 rebounds a game in the regular season or something insane because he's just playing so many minutes. I mean, I definitely think the Knicks are the better team. Their starting lineup is way better. Like the Pacers do not have anyone as good as Halliburton. Honestly, Anunoby, I think, has become a little bit underrated. And DiVincenzo, I mean, he just lets it fly. Like the Pacers would love to have a guy. Like if Nembhard would just be as confident in his three-point shot as DiVincenzo was and just let him fly, I think they would be a better team. But you're right. I mean, they're basically playing a six-man rotation now. I mean, this is a good question. How many minutes does Hartenstein sit in this game? Does Precious Achiuwa even sub in with Mitchell Robinson out, or do we get 48 minutes of DiVincenzo, 48 minutes of Hartenstein, and 48 minutes of Hart? I mean, it would be insane, but Tibbs might do it.
I think you got to roll Precious out there a little bit. I don't think Hartenstein could play 48 minutes. I know guys here in the New York area want to see Jericho Sims get some burn tonight. I'm not so
That's
sure
not
if
happening.
I can.
You can lay minus 5,000. Sims is not playing in this game. Not happening.
Under 1.5 minutes played for Jericho Sims tonight, Davis. We'll take the under. Before I get to your golf picks, this just came out. And look, I know Scotty will probably bring this up with you on tomorrow or on Friday, but he has been asking for the Pirates to start Paul Skeens and get him out of the minors and get him in there. Well, Davis, Saturday will be his day. The Pirates will bring him up, and he will start against the Cubs on Saturday. The top pick, of course, in last year's draft, going to get it going for the Buccos.
This is massive. I mean, I guess it's good this is happening on Scotty's day off. I mean, he'll be able to go up and party tonight. I mean, yeah, this is massive. I've heard it conjectured that with all these crazy pitching injuries and stuff, like Paul Skeens comes out. I mean, what's to say he won't be the best pitcher in the National League, at least in terms of the results? Like everything he did at AAA, I was like, yeah, this guy is absolutely ready to rock right now. So I'll be excited to watch him on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to have to go check out those numbers for NL Rookie of the Year and NL Cy Young. Maybe some deep shots, Davis, that we could stash in the account for a few months. We got the golf for you. You're involved on Golf Wednesdays. First, the Wells Fargo. I like this. You're going to the mid-tier. Who do you have?
Yeah, going to the mid-tier, I mean, I think that's going to be the right way to bet this event without Scotty playing. And look, I love Rory. No one loves Rory more than me. Don't really know if he should be going off at 10-1 at these events. I'm going with my boy, Byung-Hun An. He's actually playing awesome this year. This is really the best golf he's ever played in his life. How about this? Gain strokes putting at the Byron Nelson last week. If I see that, that's my signal to go. If Benny can get some putts to fall, he's so good at everything else. We got a fire there.
Give me Myrtle Beach, which I have a few plays in this week. And you're even going to the LPGA as you're going to try to go after Nelly Korda this week.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, look, we're not scared. We're not scared of Nelly Korda. We're not scared of Scotty Scheffler. We're going in the middle of the board there. I've got Grayson Sigg at 50-1, and don't see this very often, but we got a classic Finnish golfer this week, Sami Välimäki at 66-1. Both of them are, just very mid-tier grinders on the PGA Tour. I think probably at this event, fair price for both of them, closer to 40, 45-1. I think just a good advice in general for these the alternate tour events. Just bet I think you could profitably bet like 8 guys 50 or lower, and then of course we got Lynn Grant at 40-1 on the LPGA Tour. Every time she's deeper than 20-1, I take her.
Good job, Davis Mattek with his coach. We're back on the grid right after this.
fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks. Or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number one seed, you should have an easy path. But quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Are back, Ferall Coast to Coast here on a Wednesday. Carver High and Joe Lisi in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have you with us. All right, Joe. A couple things here. Royals beat the Brewers 6-4. Did I get over for you, Joe? 6-4 was the final in the Royals and the Brewers. I think you had that over, right? You didn't all.
8.5.
8.5. So there was a winner for you. You had that going for you. Big as they busted out, Joe. They scored 5 runs in the last 2 innings to get you over that total. So nice job.
What happened with Toronto?
Toronto, they won 5-3. 5-3 final with the Phillies. They got a win. Guardians beat the Tigers 5-4 in 10 innings. And the Padres beat the Cubs 3-0 this afternoon. So a dead under at Wrigley Field for the Padres and the Cubs. The Mets and the Cardinals, Joe, were washed away. That one was rained out. They'll make that up in August. Rangers and A's tied at 4 in the bottom of the 5th. That, of course, a doubleheader out in Oakland. And the Dodgers lead the Marlins 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Another dead under for us with the getaway day out in L.A. A couple things from last night, Joe, involving the teams that are actually going to be playing tonight. First off, the miserable start to the year for the Houston Astros continued in the Bronx. Now, the Yankees, Joe, they swept them those 4 games in Houston to start the year. They've had all kinds of problems the last few years with the Astros. They've had problems with Justin Verlander. Well, they were teeing off on him last night. Probably a couple years too late, but still pretty good to see on the Yes Network.
3-2. Drilled to right field and deep. Going back, Tucker, turning, looking, see ya. 3-1 Yankees. Volpe hits one deep to right. He's been going deep that way. Does he get enough? Yes, he does. See ya. A 2-run home run.
Verdugo and Volpe with homers there. Stanton had one against him as well, Joe. And look, usually it's like Memorial Day, right? That's kind of when you want to take stock. Where are we at? We turn the season around. Astros are 12-23, Joe. We're a couple weeks away from Memorial Day, obviously, but it just doesn't look like it's getting any better for them anytime soon. And I'm not going to shed any tears about it, but it sure doesn't look like it's going to get any better for them.
No, it doesn't. I mean, we were used to the mid-season, late-season run and push by the Astros. they could turn it on and turn it off, but it looks like they're dead and buried right now. Where's Mattress Mac? Where is he going to bet $2 or $3 million on the Stros now? Huh? Is he going to step up and put some money down? Huh? Why are you getting a good price? He's getting a good price.
They're second to last in the AL.
Where's Mattress Mac now?
8 games out of the wild card. They're 8 games out of the AL West. I mean, Oakland, the Angels, Detroit. I mean, all these teams have better records than Houston.
Step up.
They're in a lot of trouble.
Let's see him buy low. Instead, let's not do it. Let's not wait. Step up now. You get a good price. Throw $2 million down.
Buy low.
Yeah, buy low. Let's see. Yeah, let's see where he is now.
Diamondbacks beat the Reds 6-2. Nationals beat the Orioles 3-0. The Braves and Red Sox tied at 2s in the 8th last night, Joe. Down in Atlanta, Marcell Ozuna putting them ahead for good on Bally Sports South.
2-0 pitch. Ozuna grounds it up the middle. Ozzy is around third. Atlanta is back in front in the bottom of the 8th. The Big Bear delivers with a big RBI base hit.
Oh, the Big Bear, Joe. The Big Bear. You know what? No taters, though. Where were the taters last night with Boston and Atlanta? They better come tonight. Give me the taters tonight, Joe. I didn't get any this afternoon. We're not looking very good. Teoscar Hernandez did for the Dodgers. But
I think the under comes in. I think the under comes in. It's going to go down like a dart tonight. 3 runs. 2-1 final. Braves.
You know, you're unbelievable. You really are. You're so gutless sometimes with this
well,
stuff.
I'm gutless.
It just is.
I'm gutless.
You really are.
Oh, when I talk down your bets, you don't like it. It's going to go down like a dart.
You know, it's just nobody's talking anything down. The Mariners beat the Twins 10-6. We always love
Joe. Did you see that game last night?
Yeah. We always love pinch hit grand slams. Cal Raleigh had that for Seattle, so nice job with them. They'll play again tonight. Bryce Harper, I know the Phillies played this afternoon, but he had a grand slam last night as well for the Phillies, as Bryce has gotten very hot lately down there in Philadelphia. All right, Joe, we'll come back. I have games for you tonight. I have your weekly look as well at the best and the worst money line and the over-under so far this year. We've got the hockey that we have to get to as well. A big final hour. Ferall Coast to Coast on the Grid. We're back right after this.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big-time events.
Like, we're going to make this all about teams. We're going to have home games, and you know, that's going to be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
They have a former executive that they claim was stealing proprietary information from them and passing it along. Initially, it looks like DraftKings is on the right side of this.
They're really heated about what they said, that he left the company right before the Super Bowl, allegedly took all this confidential information with him about the most important customers, the bettors that spend the most with the company.
Newswire. Only